Hello there and welcome back to Dr. Thomas. Today we'll be exploring the symbiotic relationship of photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Processes nothing could exist, and now we'll be moving into photosynthesis. This takes place in the chloroplast, which only is found in the plant cell, and that is only found in a plant. So I'll now be forming or showing you the photosynthesis equation. Each of these represents one molecule for H2O and CO2, the gray ones, blue ones for H2O. They will each represent one molecule, but later when I show you the glucose molecule, each piece will show, since there are 4 studs, they'll each be, one stud will be an atom. So here we go. So you take the 6 of H2O and 6 CO2, you zap it with light, and then it reforms, so it forms something like this. So there's 12 hydrogen atoms, and then you got your 6 carbon dioxide atoms. That is, and then it's got some oxygen in there, 6 oxygen atoms. And that is your glucose molecule, and then you also have your 6 extra oxygen atoms off to the side. I just explained it is the light dependent reaction in the Calvin cycle, which is light independent. Yeah. So the light dependent is what I just showed with this flashlight and the extra molecules. The Calvin cycle is what happens after this is implanted. The reactants for it are water, H2O, the carbon dioxide, the CO2, and then the light. The cycle can actually be divided into 3 main stages. It is the carbon fixation, the reduction, and the reorganization of the starting molecules, which I just kind of explained. And it all takes place in the granium, which is like a disc shape in the chloroplast thing. We will be diving into the cellular respiration part of the video, which takes place in the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. That is found in both plant and animal cells, plant represented by green and animal represented by orange. And they are done both in the plant and animal. Animals does it more though, clearly. For cellular respiration is you start with a glucose molecule, which if you remember earlier we made. And that is then combined with 6 oxygen molecules, and that is then reformed to produce 6 of these, like 6 CO2 molecules, 6 H2O, which I'll more. 6 water molecules here, and then is then made with, and the last part is ATP. Respiration takes energy in glucose to make ATP, which is the cycle for the stages for this are glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and the electron transport. Alright, so there are 3 major stages of cellular respiration. It is the glycolysis, the glycosylases, which takes glucose and combines it with 6 of our oxygen molecules. Once those are combined, it forms what is called NADP. That is then fermented through the Krebs cycle, and once that process is done, it is then the fermented NADP is then split into what is now CO2, H2O, and ATP, which is the paper here. Synthesis and cellular respiration cycles. The reason we care about this is because otherwise, if this didn't happen, nothing would occur on Earth. We'd just care about this is because if this didn't happen, nothing would occur on Earth. It'd be a barren dust bowl of nothingness and be yeah, we'd just be nothing. We wouldn't exist. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Next week we will be exploring the difference between predators and parasites on Dr. Thomas.